For lesson objectives. In this lesson, you will learn basic database concepts and learn how databases are used on the World Wide Web. Upon completion of this lesson, you should be able to describe the nature of data, understand the purpose and function of relational databases, describe database elements, understand database relationships, understand how to read a database schema, and describe the uses of databases on the web. What is data and database? Data are pieces of information. Data can be measured, collected, analyzed, and reported. Data can exist in many forms. As a phone number scribbled on a scrap of paper, as a course listing in a catalog, or a list of test scores on a grade report. Data is distinct from the container in which it is stored. Database is an organized collection of information. The basic function of a database is to store data. If the database is well organized, retrieving the data you want is easy, and you can then generate reports or lists, and analyze the data in ways that are meaningful. Relational Database Management Systems, or RDBMS. A database application, on the other hand, is designed to handle complex relationships between various items of data, and is correctly referred to as a Relational Database Management System, RDBMS. Structured Query Language, SQL, is the standard language used to create and work with databases. Open Database Connectivity, ODBC, is a standard programming interface for accessing a number of different databases, including Access, DB2, SQL Server, and MySQL. Java Database Connectivity, JDBC, is a standard programming interface for accessing Oracle databases, which run on the Java platform. An Application Programming Interface, API, is a set of programming building blocks that specify how software components should interact. There are APIs for operating systems, applications, and websites.
Created using Powtoon.
Unlike spreadsheet databases which store all the information in a single table, relational databases store data in multiple tables which are related to one another. Microsoft Access is a database management system, DBMS, from Microsoft that combines the relational Microsoft Jet database engine with a graphical user interface and software development tools. In a database, data is stored in tables. The data in a table is organized into a series of rows and columns. The following figure shows a portion of a typical Access database table containing product information for items sold by a garden supply shop. Each row in a table can be referred to as a row or a record. Each column in a table can be referred to as a column, a field, or an attribute. The structure of a database table must be explicitly defined before you can enter any data. A table's structural definition includes items such as the name of the table. Each table within a database must have a unique name. The name of each field, column, in the table. The data type of each field, column. The size of each field, column. A primary key is a field, or a combination of fields, that uniquely identifies each record stored in a table. In a database, null is equivalent to unknown. Null is not the same thing as 0, 0. A primary key that is comprised of a combination of fields is called a composite key. A primary key should heavy checkmark be a value that will never change. Heavy checkmark be a value that is extremely unlikely to be null. Selecting a key. In this exercise, you will examine table schemas and select an appropriate primary key for each table. 1. What would be a good primary key for the students table? 2. What would be a good primary key for the movies table? Table relationships, foreign keys. Table relationships are defined through the creation and association of foreign keys. A foreign key is a column, or combination of columns, in a table that references the primary key in another table. A one-to-many relationship exists naturally between customers and orders. One customer may place 0, 1, or many orders, but an order can be placed by only one customer. In the orders table, this common field will become a foreign key when we create a relationship between the tables. In the customers table, the customer ID field is the primary key, denoted by PK in the diagram. In the orders table, the customer ID field will become the foreign key when a relationship is created between the two tables. The foreign key is denoted by FK in the diagram. Note that the primary key to which a foreign key maps is also known as a parent key. Relationship types. There are three types of relationships that can be established between tables. One-to-one. A relationship in which each record in table A can have only one matching record in table B, and vice versa. One-to-many. A relationship in which a record in table A can have many matching records in table B, but a record in table B has only one matching record in table A. Many-to-many. A relationship in which one record in table A or table B can be related to many matching records in the other table.
Created using Powtoon.
Database metadata, database schema. The database schema represents a logical view of the entire database. It defines how the data is organized and how the tables within the database are related to one another. You represent the one side of a one-to-many relationship by drawing a 1 beside the parent key, and you represent the many side of a one-to-many relationship by drawing an infinity symbol, infinity, beside the foreign key. Database queries. Queries work by checking table fields for entries that meet the criteria that you specify. Criteria can be strings of text, dates, or a number or range of numbers that you enter. The result set or DynaSet, dynamic subset, is not a static snapshot of records, but a dynamic changing subset of records. Database forms. Forms are tools that aid data entry and are user-friendly interfaces designed to help users enter specific data without becoming distracted or confused. Where are databases used? Databases are used almost everywhere you look. Medical records, flight reservations, legal pleadings, online orders, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook and WordPress posts are all stored in databases. The web is replete with databases because databases are extremely flexible and scalable. They can store millions and millions of records, and they can present data in almost any format you want or need. There are two basic types of web pages. Add static. These types of pages display content that does not change, unless the web page developer edits what is on the page. Dynamic. These pages change every time they are loaded in the browser window. They change their content based on user actions. Banking websites use database-driven pages. You log in and view your account, and the web page connects to a database where all your account information is stored.
Using Powtoon.
Where are databases used? Have I used queries on the web? The results that you see on the web page are the results of the query. Have I used forms on the web? Anytime you set up a profile for an account, enter an email address for a newsletter, or enter payment information for an online purchase, you have likely used a web form which is linked to a database. Fields on the form are tied to fields in a table in a database on the back end. Reference/S. ISE Enhanced Discovering Computers Copyright 2017, Shelley Cashman Series, Vermat, Misty E. Sebok, Susan L. Freund, Stephen M. Campbell, Jennifer T. Freidenberg, Mark ISBN 10-1305657454 ISBN 13-9781305657458 Guide to Computer User Support for Help Desk A Guide to Managing and Maintaining Your PC Metrics. Digital Literacy. Living Online.